In this lecture, we will look at problem-solving approaches in negotiation, conflict resolution, and peace building. We must be able to resolve conflicts among people who have many different occupations, religious backgrounds, cultural norms, and perceptions. Some like to follow a logical model, whereas others like to follow their intuition or their heart. I went looking for some visual representations of the problem-solving process and was amazed by how many diagrams were available showing different processes through searching Google Images. I got 6.7 million hits for problem-solving images. I am placing some of these images and their links on the slides in this show. The questions you should ask yourself about the problem-solving process and this learning outcome are: what assignments in your NCRP coursework did you describe or prescribe problem-solving strategies? Second, how does problem solving vary among ethnic, cultural, religious, creative, critical, historical, and humanitarian groups? And third, how is the problem solving process evolving with the globalization and technologies of the new millennium? According to Albert Einstein, any intelligent fool can make things bigger, more complex, and more violent. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. The moral of this is select a problem-solving process that is simple. As a soldier, teacher, and student, I have had to learn many problem-solving processes and definitions. I remember having to memorize the 7 steps of the military problem-solving process from an Army field manual when I was attending my primary leadership development course to become a sergeant in the U.S. Army. As an elementary teacher, I taught the problem-solving process in math, which ranged from 4 to 7 steps, depending on which curriculum my school had adopted. The purpose of the problem-solving in elementary math was to provide students a systematic process to answer math word problems. In my postgraduate psychology program, we learned the IDEAL process, which is an acronym for identify, define, explore, act, and look. Most professions have different problem-solving processes. Our role as NCRP practitioners often involves finding a mutually agreeable process for our clients to follow. Problem-solving processes occupy whole chapters in conflict resolution books and lectures. The book Getting to Yes by Fisher and Urey is often referred to as a problem-solving approach to negotiation. The Handbook of Conflict Resolution has a chapter on integrating problem-solving and decision-making. The Methods for Negotiation Research has a chapter on using the problem-solving process as a research method. Problem-solving processes are found throughout NCRP literature. In the Handbook of Conflict Resolution, Weitzman and Weissman have the problem-solving process of diagnosing the conflict, developing an alternative solution, and evaluating the solution. Pruitt and Kim provide many suggestions for finding alternative solutions in their problem-solving process. Problem-solving is often contrasted with decision-making. In this chart, I have contrasted words generally associated with the two. As an instructor of NCRP, I advocate a problem-solving method over a decision-making method. Some authors of mediation processes provide a critical analysis of the problem-solving process in mediation. For example, in The Promise of Mediation, Bush and Folger provide an argument that problems are not solved as much as they are transformed into solutions. Winslade and Monk provides a process to change the context of the conflict story into a mutually agreeable narrative in their book Narrative Mediations. The criticism from the transformative and narrative mediators and the fact that we must still bargain with advocates of distributive decision-making practices makes it difficult for practitioners to agree on a single NCRP problem-solving process. Fisher provides a process for collecting research data from problem-solving processes in the methods of negotiation research. These include bringing together influential stakeholders in a destructive conflict, have stakeholders participate in discussions or controlled communications facilitated by a third party, focus on diagnosing or analyzing the conflict, exploring options to de-escalate the conflict, and use the information collected in the process for action research. The question provides references to many possible problem-solving processes. Throughout your coursework, you should find artifacts that demonstrate your mastery of bringing an understanding of diverse problem-solving processes. If two disputants have different perspectives of problem solving, it is your role as facilitator to integrate the diverse processes into one all clients can agree on. Most literature related to NCRP since the 1990s has focused on the problem-solving approaches, whereas earlier books and literature advocated a hard bargaining or zero-sum game approach to diplomacy. Some exceptions are the theories advocated by economists and international diplomats going back to the 1700s, such as David Ricardo and Adam Smith. Friedrich Hegel's philosophical model of creating a synthesis from a thesis and an antithesis can be seen as a problem-solving model. Furthermore, many scientific processes of the last century have been used as steps in a problem-solving process. As an NCRP practitioner, you will need to look at innovative new processes to resolve the conflicts of the new millennium. This goes back to the quote by Albert Einstein, "We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them." Here is a general checklist of what I am looking for in your reflection and artifact to demonstrate your mastery of bringing ethnic, cultural, religious, creative, critical, ethical, historical, and humanitarian understanding to problem solving in this new millennium. You will submit your artifacts and reflections for peer review.